starts at a different level, right? What have you got left to work with? If you have had an operation, if you've had your hips or knees replaced, you no longer have original equipment, but you can still be the best that you can be. That good. Age, environment, how many drugs you're on, all of these are factors. Anyway, we have this in video. Dr. Mike, is it possible to show that at this time? Okay.
Hold a minute. Let's go ahead and show the video, John.
All right, let me see if we can get the video. Okay, and guess what? Wow, isn't that neat? So we've called this the Ferrari of microcurrent instruments. I'd like to ask everybody watching, do you see anything wrong with this picture? Let me mention what others have said. Yes, it's not in my driveway. Well, interestingly, I've shown this in Rome, Italy, and in Milan, Italy, and they didn't see the difference either. This is not a Ferrari, it's a Lamborghini. And these are medical doctors that we showed it to. The point being that people have an electrotherapy device and they think, yeah, it's all the same. Well, it's not the same. The clinic in a case is really a key to a world of many treatment possibilities. And we want to show that to you right now. For example, there are 3 body balancing programs for all kinds of problems. We've got the body balance program itself. It's when you're in pain. Energizing for wellness is when you're sick or to prevent sickness. And the auto sweep program is very interesting because when you don't know what's wrong and can't get well, this pretty well covers all the bases. So this is what we call the brains of the operation. This is the real clinic in a case. Again, just to review those 3 automatic programs with just a touch of a button. Body balance handles the pain, scars, tendons, muscles, edema, stress, healing, wounds, things of that nature, all with a touch of the instrument. The second program, Energizing for Wellness, deals with sarcoma, various kind of viruses, malignancy, bacteria, and precancerous conditions. The third program, which is automatic, just a click of the button, deals with a body scan sweep of thousands of treatment frequencies. And you can figure in the harmonics into that, and we have probably a couple of million different frequencies that resonate on the body. The effects that we get are not only fantastic pain control, but anti-aging, total body effects. You get a body detox. It supports the vascular system, core energy immediately, cell renewal. It boosts the immune system, and it increases membrane transport. And as we mentioned, it's automatic operation with a click of a button. It's easy to use. It's listed with the FDA as a non-significant risk device. The first program, going back to that, is called Body Balance, and it produces wave-like frequencies, and it has a very healing effect on the entire body. Well, how is that true? Well, interestingly, about the time that I got involved with microcurrent, a Dr. Pilla, who is a researcher, medical doctor, and he had just stumbled onto microcurrent and wanted to see if that really worked. Dr. Pilla took a test tube of red blood cells. He exposed them to a micro amount of electricity, and in just about 5 or 6 seconds, he noticed something different occurred. What happened is the shape of the red blood cell, which is concave, that is, it's thin in the middle, in that short, 3-second stimulation, the shape was changed to this, which allowed a more surface available to be absorbed. They really changed into progenitor cells. In fact, that's what they called it in 1976. Today we call them stem cells. Wow. So here we have a book of research that shows how that actually happens. A Dr. Robert Becker was the head of the Veterans Administration, and he wrote a book on microcurrent. There may be one in the library. You can go get it or order it online. And here's what he found. He found that the phenomena of when a salamander had its tail cut off or broken off, that they could actually regrow it much quicker than normal. And they could manipulate how that would grow. A very complex overview, but he did a very good job in trying to explain it in a simple way. These are some of the diagrams that dealt with the skin tissue, the nerves, the muscles, the bone, the cartilage, the fibrous area, the blood, the gut, the liver, and all the other organs. How that would grow. Very complex stuff. Did a very good job in trying to. And as you can see, the human field has electrical fields here. They even showed how there was a little child who had his finger cut off, and it actually regrew by using microcurrent on it. So going back, we go to the second program, which is Energizing for Wellness. And Energizing for Wellness really deactivates disease pathogens from your body, just like washing them off of your hands with soap and water. And it's really a 7-stage chaining frequency. It shifts from low to high and back again. A lot of research on this. It actually ties into Raymond Rife's instrument. And here is a picture of the Evening Tribune in San Diego back in 1934. And basically, they were curing many different things, including cancer. Well, about the first portion of the 1940s, antibiotics began to come on the scene, and the hospitals that had been using his machine went to the drugs. We won't get into that portion. The point was, this is really something that happened. Here again, we're talking about the Energizing for Wellness program. Antibiotics began to come on the scene, and the hospitals that had been using his machine. And sounds like we're talking with ourselves here, doesn't it? These are the different frequencies that the Dr. Rife came up with. And so we have the same thing in Energizing for Wellness. The third program is called AutoSweep. Here's an overview of this. And it's a multiple wave AutoSweep. It produces a full spectrum of harmonic frequencies. And Otto Warburg did a lot of work of that in Europe. And he found that cells that were sick could be brought into a normal state so they could heal themselves. Again, using a type of electrical field. George Lakowski developed and presented the idea that each cell in the human body worked as a microcellular oscillator. And so he found not only could he help humans and animals, but even plants responded to the electroresonance in a micro way back then. A lot of research. Covered over. However, drugs came into view, and I wonder what the connection was. So here again, AutoSweep automatically produces thousands of pulsating frequencies on any type of a pathological or disease area. They're harmonics. So the point we're making is there is a difference in electrotherapy between milliamperage and microcurrent. Again, the auto sweep program is that it sweeps through thousands, hundreds of thousands of frequencies, and it resonates on the unbalanced area of the body. When it hits it, it locks in that particular frequency and now has the ability to knock that pathogen out of its path. We might say, well, what do you mean resonate? Well, perhaps you've seen this commercial. They've had a opera singer and they take a lead crystal wine glass and thump it with their finger, and they go and they hear the sound, ah, and the opera singer goes, ah, at the same resonance or frequency that that glass vibrated. And when they hold it strong enough and long enough, the glass actually shatters with nothing touching it except the frequency waves. How does that work on bad stuff we don't want? Well, since it is a sweeping motion, then that's exactly what it does. It goes through all these many different diseases in the body, and it identifies and locks in to weak areas. When they need strengthening, it strengthens it. When they need weakening, it weakens it. This is called an adaptogen of you. If something needs to come down, it'll bring it down. If it needs to destroy it or bring it up, it can do that. That's quite a project, isn't it? Well, what are some of the health problems that may be treated by auto sweeping with these millions of frequencies? Well, we're not going to dwell on this, but you can see all of the things that there has been other people trying to do away with bad problems, pathogenic disease germs. And this automatically will correlate with that and resonate on it. Again, it's a resonating that is been examined. It's a list from many researchers. And it goes on and on. And each of these disease germs has a specific frequency. Do you know which one needs to be eliminated from your system? With the clinic in a case, you can treat non-attended, you can treat trigger points, you can normalize muscles in just a few seconds. You can use it with chronic problems, low back pain, sinus problem. Acupuncture points work very well with this. And one can even do electro massage. Another interesting concept of that is you can treat through clothes. For older people, it works excellent. We think about that and we think, well, your cells are the construction workers. They keep you alive. But if they don't get enough energy, they starve and your body deteriorates. One of the easiest ways to treat is by foot-to-foot flooding. And this goes back well over 60 years into Austria, who developed this particular program. Foot-to-foot flooding, it improves your circulation, restless legs syndrome, any gynecological problems for ladies when they get a few years on themselves. Lymphatic drainage is excellent, and it's really a full body treatment. The other thing is it lifts sagging body parts, and you see a difference immediately. In London, England, they had our instrument, and even Princess Di had her face done as a non-surgical facelift. This is a test called the PEP test, and it shows a difference in doing a foot-to-foot flooding. This particular girl was 43 years old. She had worked at Disney World there in Orlando. She had breast cancer, had been on chemotherapy for 2.5 years. She had spent over $10,000 on two frequency machines, but the problem was they were milliamperage, not microamperage. She treated herself for an hour each, got in the car, came over to Ormond Beach, and I ran a test on her, and this is the way she looked. If you notice this green line, that's the normal energy area. And this is where how she came in. When you get to the red line, that's getting pretty low. And remember, this was after she had been treated by 2 milliamp machines. We put her feet on the clinic in the case, and 15 minutes later, I redid the test, and this is how she came up. She reported she had no vomiting, no pain for almost 2 weeks after that singular treatment. This is another person. They were in fairly good health, but they were out of balance. Again, just 30-minute treatment face-to-face, and they had an excess of energy. Here's another person. He was given 6 months to live, and by the time I saw him, 3 months had passed. This is how he came in. We did the test. After 15-minute treatment, he came in the next day, and this is how he tested out. Now remember, this was not an electronic aspirin that wears off after 3 or 4 hours. Again, this is the way he looked, and this is the way he was the very next day. Continuing on, he was still on chemotherapy. He couldn't get out of that loop, an IV drip. And this is 9 days after his last clinic in a case treatment, even though he had been undergoing chemo and radiation. This is 3 weeks after chemo. As you can see, 2 months after the doctor said he was supposed to be dead. We went out to eat together. We went to meetings together, and he was doing well to that point. There's another person, and she had 1 total mastectomy plus a lumpectomy. And same thing, we just gave her 1 singular treatment, and this is how she came up. Just 15 minutes on energizing for wellness. She reported she felt great for 2 weeks and finally got her own instrument. This is a wife of a traveling minister over a large district. And you can see where she was. We weren't even going to test her. But we said, well, let's do you also. And these red lines, we don't like to see those because that's how much of a drain of energy is taking place. We treated both her and her husband at the same time. And this is how she came up. So the point is all of these healing factors even work on animals. So they'll work on you too. So stop bargaining with your health. Don't sacrifice the health of your family. Your body's got over 200 bones, 200 joints, 600 muscles. And take care of yourself. Don't let your body retire before you do. So again, the clinic in a case is not just an instrument. It's a health system to make you feel better, look better, and live longer. And I guess I'm repeating myself. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that and it made sense. So again, the clinic in a case is not just an instrument. It's a make you feel better, better.
So John, I'm just listening on the other side to the YouTube, and it seems like we're transmitting okay. So that came out great, by the way. That was a fantastic presentation.
Okay. So were others able to see this evening?
I'm just listening on the other side to the seems like transmitting okay. So that came out great, by the way. Fantastic presentation. Yes, everybody saw it, and we'll be able to, those that didn't see it live will be able to view it at any time. And for those that would like to have more information about the clinic in a case, you can call our office at 386-274-2520. John and I, Dr. John and I plan to do next Monday another talk. We'll have a topic, a health condition specifically. We'll be discussing the use of microcurrent as well as the nutritional therapies indicated and healing foods. Hopefully I'll have figured out why I have an echo here on Zoom, but you folks listening live stream YouTube are not hearing it, which I'm thankful for. And I'll work out these technical bugs as I do better doctoring than I do engineering.
Yes, he does.
Yes, I do. We both are in agreement with that. So, again, any questions that you have, you can also email me at healing, H-E-A-L-I-N-G, physician, P-H-Y-S-I-C-I-A-N, at AOL.com. John, thank you so much for, as always, a wonderful presentation, all your hardworking years of really putting on a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this wonderful specialty that you've been involved in with now over 45, 50 years, and helping so many hundreds and thousands of patients and continuing to as well. It's our pleasure, John and I both, to bring this segment to you folks because our mission is to light many candles with this information. So invite your friends for upcoming Monday evening Healthy by Choice segments with John and I. And with that, we'll both say God bless and have a great evening. Thank you, John.
Yes. Good to have seen you both.